Jones, we've heard a great deal about you. Have you? Professor of archaeology, expert on the occult, and, how does one say it? Obtainer of rare antiquities.
One way of saying it. Why don't you sit down? You'll be more comfortable.
Thank you. Yes, you're a man of many talents. Now, you studied under Professor Ravenwood at the University of Chicago.
Yes, I did.
You have no idea of his present whereabouts?
Just rumors, really. Somewhere in Asia, I think. I haven't really spoken to him for 10 years. We were friends, but, had a bit of a falling out, I'm afraid.
Dr. Jones, now, you must understand that this is all strictly confidential, eh?
I understand.
Yesterday afternoon, our European sections intercepted a German communique that was sent from Cairo to Berlin. Now,
You see, over the last 2 years, the Nazis have had teams of archaeologists running around the world looking for all kinds of religious artifacts. Hitler's a nut on the subject. He's crazy. He's obsessed with the occult. And right now, apparently, there's some kind of German archaeological dig going on in the desert outside of Cairo.
Now, we've got some information here, but we can't make anything out of it, and maybe you can. Tanis development proceeding. Acquire headpiece, staff of Ra, Abner Ravenwood, U.S.
Nazis have discovered Tanis.
Just what does that mean to you, Tanis?
Well, the city of Tanis is one of the possible resting places of the Lost Ark.
The Lost Ark?
Yeah, the Ark of the Covenant, the chest the Hebrews used to carry around the Ten Commandments.
What do you mean, Commandments? You're talking about the 10 Commandments?
Yes, the actual 10 Commandments, the original stone tablets that Moses brought down out of Mount Horeb and smashed, if you believe in that sort of thing. You guys ever go to Sunday school?
Well,
Oh, well, look. The Hebrews took the broken pieces and put them in the Ark. When they settled in Canaan, they put the Ark in a place called the Temple of Solomon.
In Jerusalem.
Where it stayed for many years, until all of a sudden, whoosh, it's gone.
Where?
Well, nobody knows where or when.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to The Vault. I am your host, Lily Thomas II. Today, we are going to cover prayer prompt number 2 by discussing the return of the Ark of the Covenant to Israel. The opening verse to David's Song of Thanksgiving says, "Give thanks unto the Lord, call upon his name, make known his deeds among the people." As we talk about the Ark and its return to Israel, consider what it means to be a bearer of the gospel of Christ. The Ark of the Covenant is shrouded in mystery. Many know what it looks like, few know where it currently resides. The Ark of the Covenant is a golden chest with angelic figures overlooking the center called the mercy seat. It has staves coming out from its sides for the Levites to carry on their shoulders. Within the chest are 3 ancient artifacts: Aaron's budded rod, a second copy of the 10 Commandments, and manna, bread from heaven that Israel ate while they wandered in the wilderness. The Ark of the Covenant houses the presence of God, symbolizing his power and holiness. Our trek begins at a time before Israel had a king, and when the prophet Samuel was being mentored by the high priest Eli. Israel and the Philistines were at war. The Philistines knew that Israel's sacred weapon, the source of their strength, was the presence of God as the Ark of the Covenant. The Philistines defeated Israel at Aphek and took the Ark of the Covenant. In chapter 5 of 1 Samuel, we follow the Philistines to find out how God responds to all of this. The Philistines take the Ark back to Ekron, which is where they lived, and set it in their temple. God shows his power by toppling and causing the head and arms of their Baal idol to be cut off. God also strikes the Philistines with a severe disease. Fearful of the God of Israel's great power, they decide to return the Ark of the Covenant to Israel. They send a trespass offering, a small chest with articles of gold, along with the Ark of the Covenant on a cart back to Beth-Shemesh and return to Ekron. That's not where the story ends. You see, the people of Beth-Shemesh also made the mistake of messing with the Ark of the Covenant. Because they opened the Ark, they were struck. In fear, they send the Ark to Kirjath-Jearim, where it stays for 20 years. Time passes. The prophet Samuel dies, and the first king of Israel is defeated in battle. David becomes king and decides to bring the Ark of the Covenant to the city of David. He and the Israelites go to Kirjath-Jearim to pick up the Ark of the Covenant and bring it into the new city, but they did not follow protocol. The staves or rods at the sides of the Ark were meant to be carried by the Levites only. And while the procession was great and glorious, with dancing and music, with instruments made of fir wood, even on harps and on psalteries and on timbrels and on cornets and on cymbals, Israel had the ark on a cart. When the cart tipped and the ark almost fell, Uzzah, one of the drivers, stretches out his hand to catch it. God strikes him and he dies. King David, upset and afraid, sends the Ark of the Covenant to Obed-Edom, where it stays for 3 months. When the house of Obed-Edom is blessed, King David sets out to continue bringing the Ark into the city of David. His enthusiasm returned, and the fear of the Lord remained, so that this parade into the heart of Israel included a sacrifice every 6 paces. On that day, King David gives Asaph a song of thanksgiving to God. The first verse being, "Give thanks unto the Lord, call upon his name, make known his deeds among the people." Our prayer prompt for this week says, pray that we call upon, advocate, and demonstrate in the name of Jesus, and serve him with gratitude. Pray that we spread the gospel and make him and his deeds known, even in the midst of world crises. As you pray along these lines this week, consider what it means to be a bearer of the gospel of Christ. Much like the Levites were the only ones ordained by God to carry the Ark of the Covenant, we are the bearers of his presence. Meditate on what it means to be a bearer of the good news of God's Spirit living within us.